guys, welcome to Messy Paper Talks. I'm Mariana.
And I'm Veronica.
And I'm Ashlyn.
And today we are excited to be talking about our topic, and we're...
I don't know if I'm excited about my failures.
Hey guys, welcome to Messy Table Talks. I'm Brianna.
And I'm Veronica.
And I'm Ashlyn. And today we're going to be talking about all those moments where we feel like we're messing everything up, where we feel like we're just failing as a mom, but feeling overwhelmed, the comparison game, all the things. So, because I feel like recently we've gone through some things that were just, either comparison or feeling like doing enough. So this episode is definitely, I can say that we're starting to go a little deeper now. We didn't want to scare you guys away with the first, few episodes. We wanted to be able to keep you guys, but now it's like, you know what, like we're going to be going a little bit deeper. And I think this is something that every mom at some point or another, all the way up until your children are grown, like you feel like you're failing in some way. So who wants to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
Yeah.
I think this conversation is very much needed because over the last couple weeks, we've been talking to just different individuals about like situations where they felt like, they were failing as a mom. And like, I think it's a topic that not a lot of people talk about, right?
It's not an
I also think what's kind of cool is we actually found out other people were more interested in it because, of course, we like to talk. And we're very real and we're authentic and we're genuine with each other and we don't really fake the funk or anything. So we're like having this conversation and then I think another mom overheard us and she's like, oh, you did that too or you felt that too? And we're like,
You're not a perfect mom.
Really. Yeah. So I think it takes a lot to be truthful and it takes a lot to like share your life, but I think it helps others.
And I think this ties in perfectly to like what we were talking about community, like being vulnerable. Yes. So sharing the hard stuff, because I feel like that's really like too like where we started connecting more as like mom friends in sharing the hard stuff.
Yeah. I know for me, just being a young mom, I'm 32 and I got pregnant when we were like 5 months after we were married. And so my kids, I have 4 kids, and the ages are 10, 7, 4, and 1, almost 2. But I think recently I've had a really hard time with just trying to navigate being a mom and also a working mom and homeschooling and like also figuring out myself because I feel like, how like in the 20s they always talk about like, oh, you're figuring out your identity. I think for me it was not till I was 30 like where I started to really discover like what are my likes, what are my dislikes, and like how am I as a parent because
how old were you when you got married too?
I was 21.
Yeah, so it's if when everyone's trying to decide who they are. And then 5 months you're pregnant.
Right?
Totally.
So it was just, very different. And also, like, through that, discovering who I am, also discovering my parenting style, and also discovering, like, the things that I was taught when I was younger. And, like, I always say, like, eat the meat, spit out the bones. Yeah, because, like, how I was raised. Like, I was just talking to our Young Lives girls this morning about, like, breaking cycles, like, generational things. And, like, what do I want to do? And how do I want to parent, and then feeling like a failure. Oh, I didn't do this right, or I yelled at my kid today, and like trying to make things right again. I've had a really hard time with my son because he is everywhere and he just needs to be parented differently than how my others are.
And that's hard because like you have your firstborn and they're like so different from the second and then so different from the third, and what worked for your firstborn is not going to work for your secondborn because they're different, and so for me that's definitely hard and I'm still going through it. But then also it's kind of like they're like, well, why do they get to do that or not do that and I have to do that, or in explaining like you're older or you're younger and there's different, that they have a different capacity and they can only do so much or not do so much type thing. And so that's like where like parenting, I always tell people sometimes when like they're ready to have kids or like they want to have babies, I'm like, everyone wants a baby. Also, but no one prepares to parent. And that's what we need. We need parents, people that are actually going to be putting in the work, right? It's like, yeah, babies are great, but then comes a time where it's like first time obedience, just like yes or no's and all the things. So, like parenting the differently is hard. And then I think that's where sometimes I like feel like I'm flubbing on like, well, dang, am I too hard on my oldest? Should I be harder on my youngest? Like that perfect balance. Because
so
it is. Because I mean, my oldest is 16, my youngest is 8.
Yeah.
So that's
I think
so
too,
different.
like discipline, you know, like that's hard. Like, because you're like, okay, like we can't have unhinged kids, right? Like it'll be chaotic. You'll just be a chaotic ball going everywhere with your family. So like discipline's important, but I've also realized that discipline and punishment is different, you know, but discipline is important. Like you have to discipline, because if not, your kids are gonna be crazy. And like discipline is good. The Lord disciplines us, you know, like, and I think that that's important to, like, when you're parenting, bringing Jesus in it, and like just saying like, hey, like we're like, it hurt, like now I get it when your parents used to be like, it hurts me more than it hurts you. And like now that I'm a parent, I get it, like it does hurt me. Like, you know, I don't want to punish you, I don't want to, you know, discipline you or take things away or not let you go somewhere. Like I want you to go somewhere, go have fun, but also like you need to be respectful, you need to, like, you know, XYZ.
Which that's a good point. So I'll share a story that is kind of hits on that, and where I felt like I was failing as a mom. So man, there has been a few different times. But so my oldest, you know, 16, it was, I think she was like in 5th grade, and so she has a phone. She had a phone, so she was like in 2nd or 3rd, but it's because she walked home from our house and we would like call her and stuff. So anyways, so she had a phone, but obviously like we would do phone checks, it would charge in our room at night, like all the things. And this was like so small, but I do feel like, which I'll say it later, but I do feel like doing these smaller steps helped us get to just kind of disciplining when a bigger issue came on. But anyway, so she was like in 5th grade, and I like took away her phone because she got in trouble for some reason, or I think I was doing a phone check or something, and I was like going through her phone, and like I noticed some like explicit songs on her phone, and then I noticed like how she was kind of like talking and texting people, and just not the kind of verbiage or language like we would be using. And to me, like it seems so minuscule now with everything else in the world. But to me at the time, I was like, who is this? Who's this person? And it was like night and day. And I was just like, not that I wanted to shelter her, but I just like, I was really sorry. Anywhere. But not that I wanted to shelter her or like put her in a bubble, but I had thought I had made the expectations clear about
the dishwasher is going off.
It's cracking. She's cracking this one up.
Canceled.
So not that I wanted to put her in a bubble or anything, but I thought I made the expectation clear about like what kind of music you can listen to, and because we do an Apple playlist thing and it's not filtering things out, how we talk, how we don't talk, like, and so at that time I just felt like crushed because and I think too, I was putting my daughter on a pedestal, like comparing her to like all the other things or kids that I was seeing, and I was like, oh, like she doesn't do that, she didn't say that, she didn't, but and then like it crumbled right beneath me. I was like, okay, and where I thought like, you know, she was abiding by all the rules and talking, and you know, it was just one of those moments where I was like, you know, God was like, hey, you need to be like more involved and more on it, and also just there's no such thing as a one-time conversation with your children. Like sometimes, like you can't just have a hard conversation and then think, okay, they got it, it's in the brain. It's not. There are some type of conversations where you keep having to have the conversation, and it evolves. It can start to be more technical. But as far as like disciplines, those are like one-time conversations. Like, hey, we're not going to do this again, because then obviously there's disobedience happening. But that's completely different thing else. But it was in that moment where I felt like, wow, okay, I don't have a perfect daughter, and I always prided myself on like her image or how she was. well, for one, I felt like I was a failure because I was putting, I don't want to say pressure on her, because I never was like, you need to do this, you need to do this, and this.
Yeah.
But I think I was putting so much, I don't know.
Like emphasis on.
Yes. Like
that.
emphasis, power, or like so much on her when she didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
And so for me, I was like, it was unfair for her, for me to have that view of her. And then also to just like, my kid is gonna make mistakes, you know?
Yeah.
And just like how small it was at the time back then, I just remember thinking, I think I was just worried that she was turning into somebody that I didn't like, I think, as well. And I think I was like, okay, what are we doing? Is it the preteen years? Are we gonna start going toe to toe?
Okay. You're like gearing yourself
I'm gearing myself, like, what type
Yeah.
of person is she gonna be now?
You know,
is this really her? Right? Is she
Right.
being fake? Like,
Right.
all these
That's
thoughts
good.
coming through my mind. And in the end, it was just, good conversation, after that. And
That's good.
just like, obviously, like, her phone got taken away, and all of her devices and things.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, and then that snowballed into a different issue too, which, man, there's a lot of things. Anyways,
See, guys, if you need help in the teenage years,
Yes,
this is your girl.
Ashley's it.
I don't know. I'm still learning.
This is
I'm
your
just
girl.
surviving toddler stages.
I feel like I'm getting there. I think one thing I was asking you was, I'm an optimist person, I think, too. Like, I think that in every situation, I try to
Optimistic.
Optimistic.
Not
Thank you.
Optimus
What's
Prime.
optimist?
Group chats for optimistic.
Optimistic.
Yeah.
See, I love this. See, they get me. They get me.
I knew what she was saying. I was picking up what she was putting down.
I got you.
Okay, so optimistic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm an optimistic person, so I try to find like the good in every situation.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad. Like, I feel like how I was talking about last podcast, like, I try to find the joy in like whatever the situation is, because life is messy, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's me too. Like, with Penny, there's like moments where I'm like, it just will explode in front of your face, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, what just happened? But I always like try to get those moments and be like, okay, like, how can we grow from this, or like, what can we like talk about or pray about, or how can I guide her back to Jesus in this moment, so that, it doesn't just get left unseen or left untalked about, because you're right, it's gonna more years are gonna come, more trials are gonna come, these kids are gonna go through things, so I just love the moments where like I do feel like a failure, like in certain moments. I can't really think of like a specific moment, because there's a lot of little moments, but I feel like in those moments you gotta seize the moment. There's a pastor at Gateway Church, and he did a little Bible study with us, and he was telling us about our kids, like, you gotta seize the moment, like, whatever the situation is, like, seize it, like don't be like, oh, I'll talk to them about that later, like, no, talk to them about it now, because in those moments, whether it's in the car, you picked them up, like, that's the moment to talk about
and
it
life
with
gets
them.
busy, and I think I remember talking with Bree about this like last year, a few months ago, I don't know, but sometimes things will happen with our kids, and you can't really deal with it right then and there because of like who's around, where you're going, what you're doing. And then sometimes they think that they got off scot-free, and it's just like, so telling them like, hey, we can't deal with this right now, but just know we're going to deal with it later. And depending on what it is, that might be the best option, because who knows what kind of state you're in. Like, another point, coming back with the phone again. I'm trying to think about my words carefully and how I share this, but with the phone again, issue coming up, and going through the phone, finding things and text messages and stuff that I was just very like heartbroken, gutted about. And it was like at midnight, I think. And I was like laying in bed, like crying, and like Ruben's asleep next to me, has like oblivious to like what is going on in my mind. And I wanted to just go and bring her. Like, I wanted to wake up. I wanted to go to her room and just like lay into her. And I just remember laying there, like, I thought I thought we were over this. I thought she knows expectations. I thought this, but that was now like 8th grade before high school. And so that was like, God, like I'm just not doing it. Like, I don't know. I'm just not doing my job. But it's things that I feel like not every, I won't clump them all together, but majority of teens or kids are going to go through. And it's so hard because maybe you, but for us, we didn't grow up with the phones. We didn't grow up with Facebook, Instagram, all the things. This era is so hard.
Her, because she grew up in Montana.
Well, no, because she's younger.
Oh.
Because she's younger, so she has because
my mind's went, because you always tell us about Fontana. Like, oh, you gotta have the biggest, the best.
Yeah, you do.
Gosh,
you have to be all like,
it's like, of course.
No, but I thought because it was right at you. Yeah, so I feel like her. Yeah, so I think that she grew up with it.
My mom was very. I love what you said too. Like, what is it? Chew the bones, spit out or what?
Take the meat.
Take the meat, spit out the bones.
Chew the bones. That's the hard stuff. Just you gotta chew it and digest it.
Chew the hard stuff, guys.
Chew the hard stuff.
Okay, I love that because I feel like a lot of things like my mom did was good, and I feel like I do a lot of those things with Penny. But I also think there's some stuff that I'm like I tweak a little bit because maybe that wasn't the best thing, or the best approach. But I feel like definitely like when like. Because I did have a phone in high school and stuff, like, and my mom's very blunt. So, like, I realized, and then my neighbor is also an RN, and she's, like, very blunt. She uses all the words, like, she doesn't filter. And Anthony's also a very blunt person. So I feel like I've had to learn to be more blunt with my daughter. Yeah. And I think it helps, though, and it works. Like, my mom would straight up be like, if you send someone a picture of this, just know the whole school's gonna see. Like, she would just scare me, and I'm just like, okay. But, like, I feel like, yes, I'll tell Penny that, but I also explain. Like, I'm more of, like, an explainer of, like, my mom was kind of like that, too. But, like, explaining, like, situations, so they're not just hearing us say, this like, bad. Don't do this, don't do that. It's
the
bad.
Why.
But why? Why can't I do it? Well, let me explain to you why. Yeah. You know, like, and I think that has helped help me to not feel like a failure, because also we have to realize, guys, that our kids are gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. Like, whether we did all the right things, whether we did all the best things, best teachers, best schools, but whatever, like, they're gonna choose their own direction. So I think that, you know, for your sake of peace too, just knowing like, hey, you train your child the way they should go, the way the Lord wants them to go, but like, you do your part and like just give yourself grace. I think we could all use grace in our parenting and mothering, because if not, I feel like a failure every day.
Right. It takes hard work, and like, you can't avoid it. And I love this book. It's Habits of the Household. I forget who it's by, but
good.
It's a really good book, and he talks about just like your habits and your rhythms, and like, if you want your family to look a certain way, like, then you need to dedicate yourself to that. Like, what habits are you doing? Is your habit where you're rushing out the door every day, or are you not praying with your kids? Are you not reading them a book? Like, are you relying on other people to to discipline your child or disciple your child?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I think oftentimes for me, I feel like a failure is when my habits and my rhythms are off. And I just feel like my whole life is chaos. And then I'm like, I'm failing. But it's like realizing like, oh, I need to do better at my habits and my rhythms. And I've allowed other things to form my family instead of God, you know?
Yeah. Should we pause?
Yeah. Should we take him out?
Do you want to just print? Maybe because he can't see you anymore. Just turn him and leave him. Yeah.
Bye.
Unless he's
been talking.
I think, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think
It's fine.
it's
Just leave him like that. So.
Should we tell her to take him out if he starts crying again, or no?
Is he unbuckled?
No, but he looks tired.
He's so tired.
Look at his eyes.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
Give him his little chew toy.
Let's see here. So, I think, I don't know about you guys, but for me, social media makes me feel like I'm failing every day. It makes me feel like I'm failing every holiday, every teacher appreciation, every Valentine's, every, and it's, I really,
That is so true.
and it's just, here's the thing. I went through a season of like the cute Valentine's, the teacher
same,
appreciations,
yeah.
like all the things.
Then a new
And
season.
no,
comes
now
around.
it's just a gift card and maybe if the gift card even happens, to be honest, more times than not, it's not happening.
Yeah.
But that's just the season of life, and and then I also see like, birthdays. I set up, I just do random decorations. I love the way you do birthdays because like you're like themed. Me, I'm just like balloons, confetti, just like random stuff. But like there's this one follower or this one gal I was following, and like she would set up her kids' birthday things, like more presents than my kids get on Christmas.
Yeah, that's
type
insane.
gifts, and I'm just like, and I got this like I need to be doing more. Like and then I was like, wait a minute, my bank account isn't set up like hers. Like I don't got that type of income to just spend.
100.
And also too, just the stuff. The stuff that's a whole other episode.
Yeah, we
but
fill our lives with stuff.
but
Social
just the
media
comparison just messes with your head, or like the vacations or the things, and then it makes me feel like, then are my kids missing out?
Yeah.
Like, are my kids not having a good, fulfilling childhood because we can't do that, or we don't have that? And in all honesty, I'm just like, sometimes I get those feelings, and then at the end of the day, I'm just like, our household is completely different. And I think about my own childhood and like where I came from and like how I grew up, and it's like, dude, my kids are living like billionaires.
No, literally. I think too, like, I don't know, like for me too, I feel like a big one, because that is so deep for me too. Like the like we don't, like my mom's vacations growing up was her like taking days off just so she could be home and rest. Like it doesn't mean we're gonna go anywhere. And then now our vacations is visiting family, literally. Like it's going to Idaho to visit Anthony's family, but you could get caught up in that, like where they're like, oh, we're going to go here, we're going to go there. And I'm like, oh, we don't do that. But just remembering like, that's not us though. And that's okay. Or even our vacations are like camping trips.
Be
Cheap,
content.
fun, content.
What you have.
And then another thing too, like what I think that gives me a lot of peace. See guys, this is me being optimist.
Optimist?
Oh my gosh, I'm done. Optimistic. I like to shorten
That's
up
hilarious.
words.
You do.
Ashley,
You're like
Opti. Okay, so I'm Opti.
It's gonna go viral on TikTok. Opti. It's a new word. Spread it around. Opti. You're optimistic. You see this silver lining.
Oh my gosh, that has to be a hashtag on the bottom. Okay, anyways. So one thing that I think that gives me a lot of peace, because I think as moms too, like we get so caught up in like, what school is our kids gonna go to? Like, is it
100%?
That's me. I'm always like, okay, what school are they gonna go to? What, it's not me, but it is me. And it's me and Anthony, like their education and like, XYZ. And Lincoln, like my family's always telling me like, yeah, Lincoln's such a like athletic, like he could make it to like, the NFL or like the major leagues. Like my brothers always tell me, and then my dad, like it's just so much pressure and so much like things. Like my parents are always like, why don't you have him in any sports? Like he should be in sports and this. And I'm just like, it becomes overwhelming, and it makes me feel like a failure. I'm not gonna lie, because like, my friends their kids are in sports, or they're in every season of sports, and like I just financially can't do that, And also just timely, like or time wise, like I don't have the time for it.
Yeah, it's
because
a lot.
then I will go crazy,
Well, you'll have a rainbow calendar like this one over here. Swear, we just looked at it on the Hearth app, and it's insane.
So it makes you feel like a failure, but also I feel like being the opti in me it goes on. Doesn't it work? I feel like one thing that has given me true peace is like my prayers over Penny and Lincoln, and you guys know this, is like praying that like my main goal in life is that they would receive the Lord as their Lord and Savior, that they would receive Jesus in their heart. Like if they do that, I know that like when trials come, when tribulations come, like they're gonna be okay. Doesn't mean that following Jesus is gonna be a walk in a park for them, rainbows, butterflies. Of course not. the thing is that I know they're gonna go through things. I know that they might not get into the school they want, that Lincoln may not be able to go to the major leagues and he'll be so sad. But because he has Jesus, he's gonna be able to get through those hard times. She's gonna be able to get through those hard things and times that she goes through because she has Jesus in her life. So I feel like for me, that's one of my biggest accomplishments, greater goals in life, is that my kids would know who Jesus is.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that makes me feel like not so much of a failure.
Right.
And if
Yeah.
they don't know who Jesus is, as long as I know I'm doing my part, then, you know, at the end of the day, that's gonna be them and the Lord. And, you know, I could do all the right things, take them to church, disciple them, all the things, and it's still gonna be their decision to seek the Lord or not, you know?
So good.
Yeah.
I heard it once. This guy, who was a pastor, was talking about, he was just kind of giving just an example. It was between a conversation through a therapist and another person. They were like, if you were given a script of your child's life through different circumstances that they had to endure or encounter, it walks through different situations. Like, your child grows up, they're in this really great like basketball team, breaks his leg, he has to have surgery, he could never play again, he gets addicted to pills, circumstance, he goes through a Great Depression, all the things, and then it gets to like he gets married, he falls in love with this really this toxic girl, and then they end up getting a divorce, and they were like,
God.
I
they were like looking through like a child's, another child's life, like circumstances.
Yeah.
And they're like, out of all these circumstances, what would you take away from your child? If you had the power to take away something really hard, what would you take away? And this person was like looking through it, and he, reading through the script, and they were like, I would take away this, because then, I would take away his divorce, because then it wouldn't affect him as much, and then he would be able to overcome in this area. And they were just using it as an example of like that, all of these circumstances in our children's lives are to refine them and to define them. And this is like how God sees us. Like, he could take away certain situations, but like, those are the moments that make our lives. And God, he does tell us, we're going to go through things. But it's for his glory, to allow him to like shine through us and for others to see. You know? And so I think of my own life, like, because there are moments where, my daughter goes through things where I'm like, why did her friends treat her this way? Or through dance, I'm like, why is this situation? And look at it like, okay, no, God, like,
okay, Opti.
I'm gonna
make some shirts.
Hats.
Opti. Next episode.
I look at it and I'm thankful, and I'm like, okay, I gotta use this as an opportunity for me to have those God conversations.
Yes.
Because I can't take away pain, and I can't take away the hard things, but I know a God who.
Amen.
So.
Yeah,
that's good. All the time. No, that's really great, because it's so true, because there's always those questions like, would you rather? And it's like, would you rather go back to like all the knowledge you have now, or go back or skip over something hard or something? And it's like, no, we have to go through those hard things. Our kids have to go through those hard things, and we have to go through those hard things with them. Because it's how they learn and how they grow and how they're refined. And and just with my middle daughter, was it second grade, first grade? I think it was second grade. She went through a whole bullying thing. Like, kids are just god awful. Parent your children, please. I know. But they're just bullying and just why? Like, why my daughter? Why? And and I wanted to go wring those little kids' necks. But prison life probably wouldn't suit me. But but it's growth, and it's understanding, like, then that whole like hurting people hurt people type thing, which there's to an extent, and then I'm like, people are just a-holes, like, let's just put it how it is. And and so just learning through, like, hey, we can't fix people, we can't control people, we can only control ourselves and how we respond to things. And it's so hard as a mom watching your kid go through something that you we're so much wiser than our children, obviously, because of all the years and things we've gone through. But it's so hard watching them go through something that you kind of knew was gonna be not it. Case in point, one of Mia's last relationships, like totally imploded. And anyways, but yeah, it was just but it's needed. It's needed. And then I feel like that's how we grow as parents.
Yes.
Like we kind of like, because it's a first for us too. It's a first. Anything that happens with Mia is a first. And I hate that she's a guinea pig, but I feel like we're trucking along here. But yeah, I think it's needed, and it's hard. But I think that's why it's important to have community.
I was just thinking that.
It's so you don't feel alone.
It all goes back to community.
Yeah, it all comes back to be and then just taking it to the Lord. Like all the time. Like I will always fail my children. Always, always, always. I will say the wrong things. I will react the wrong way. I will not have patience. I will not have peace. I will not have grace or mercy. But He is always merciful. And He is love.
Yes. And I think that's huge to like also tell our children, right? Like because there's so many moments, guys, where I've had to apologize to my daughter because I mess up. I'm not human, you know. Like
from Fontana.
Her mom is her mom is human. And there's just so many more moments where I've had to apologize to her, and I'm like, hey Penny, like I'm sorry, like I acted, or I whatever it was, you know.
You were reactive and not proactive.
Yes. And I really like those moments. Sorry, I'm like thinking back at them, but like those moments, like I could see her be like, oh, like you could apologize and you're an adult. Like I think that's showing her something, you know. And it's showing her like mom isn't perfect, or oh mom needed space, or oh mom is able to apologize, mom's able to take accountability, like maybe I could too, you know. And I think it even shows them like it's okay to be wrong, it's okay to take accountability, it's okay to, you know, take ownership of the mess that you made, you know. And a lot of times, you know, like you were saying too, like it's hard to see your kids mess up because you feel like they messed up, like, so I messed up, you know? Like the whole dude, with Penny, it's been a whole situation this whole year, like just with the school, she hates it, the kids, they're mean, the, you know, everyone's out to get her, like the suspensions, like, oh my gosh, like it's just like I feel like I'm a failure, like maybe I didn't put her in the right school, maybe I should have done something differently, whatever the situation is. I just feel like because when those moments do come up, we're able to have God moments and have those conversations that are deep, that we get to like really dig deep and be like, okay Penny, like let's like, what does God say about this, or what is God doing? And like just encouraging her. I feel like our kids need to be encouraged too, you know.
No, that's so good.
And I feel like those moments are hard, but also like it's encouraging even as a mom, like, hey, we're going through a really hard thing right now together, but like we could get through it with Jesus. And I think it even builds their faith and their relationship with Jesus at such a young age, because they're like, you know, when we're angry, we don't just have to be in anger and sit there. Like we get to come to Jesus with our emotions, you know.
I guess now, #motherhood, messy table talks. I mean, this was bound to happen.
Oh yeah, this is bound to happen.
So anyways, just so for me and just where I'm at, like taking it to God, centering it back on what, you know, the Bible says, because that's always a good foundation for how to just parent, and also not just the situation you're going through with your child, but also just going to the Father as far as like, give me wisdom, like
like being relational with your children, not just like do this because the Bible says this, because that builds resentment, that builds like you're telling me to be a certain way when you're not even a certain way. They definitely need to see you. They need to see who you truly are, and like how you come to Jesus in your weakness, because we ain't perfect, you know. And like I feel like that does more like for their relationship with Jesus. When they come to Jesus, they're gonna be able to understand like, this is like my Lord and Savior. Like I get to come to Him in all my emotions. Like I don't have to be perfect with my God, you know?
I think that's one thing I try to do with my kids. And you had asked a question like, what makes a good mom or something like that.
How would you like
how would I define it? A good mom? I think letting go of control, being humble, and I think obviously like seeing your relationship with Jesus, because it's one thing to say it, but to like for them to see you worshiping and see you on your face and like be vulnerable. Like, there's moments where, like, I try to have this rhythm in the mornings. I put worship music on when we're before we do school or leave somewhere, and it sets the tone. But there's moments where the Holy Spirit grips me, and I'm worshiping and I'm being vulnerable with the Lord. And the other day I was doing it, and Eliza, she came in and she's like, "What's wrong, Mom?" And I was just like, and it was a moment where I was like, "Oh, it's fine, it's okay. Like, I'm just singing. I love the song."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, like." This is a moment where I could teach her, like, oh, the Holy Spirit's teaching me this, or Mommy needed to talk to the Lord about this.
Yeah.
And it was like, those are the moments where it's like, it speaks more to them than anything else.
There's moments too, like, where I've even, where I'm overwhelmed and, like, I crash out and, like, not to say, like, I absolutely think it's not healthy, like, to trauma dump on our children or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But, like, there's moments where I'm, like, overwhelmed and frustrated and I start crying. And, like, I just start crying and I'm, like, and then I know, like, Penny, Lincoln are like, Mom, like, what's wrong? And, like, I'll tell,
you
like,
guys make me this crazy.
And I'll just start crying and I'm like, I need prayer. And sometimes I can't even pray myself and I'll be like maybe it's not even something to do with the kids and I'll ask for prayer. I'm like, Penny, can you pray for me? Because like I just feel so sad right now because XYZ, if they are able to know, and sometimes they're not able to know, but I just can't hold my emotions, and I'll just be like, Penny, like, I just got bad news, like, can you just please pray for me? Like, I need prayer. And she'll pray for me. And like, you know, I think those are the moments of showing our children, like, hey, like, you know, we're in this together. Like, we're doing life together, you know? And like, even Lincoln, he's prayed for me before too, where I'm like, Lincoln, I need prayer. And he's like, okay, Mom. And he'll like pray for me. Because, it's like we're showing our kids our raw, like, relationship with Jesus. Because that is my relationship with Jesus. I'm going to pray to him when I'm in distress, you know?
Yeah. And I think what's really important is it's not perfection. It's not perfection. But yeah, it's not all the things. Like, that's great. And that's, you know, if like you're the Pinterest mom to the, like, 1,000, like, that, awesome. I wish I could be like that.
I will be
one day. One day.
You are. What are you talking about? You cricket and you do the whole themed birthday. Like, what? But it's not perfection, and it's just showing them grace as well.
I was gonna say another thing that makes a good mom, I think, is discipline.
God, yeah. Don't be friends with your kids. That comes later.
Okay.
Do we need parenting? No. First, and then you can befriend.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, because it's easier to not parent, they mix it up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then discipline is hard.
Yes.
Because they're like, she's not going to stick with it.
When you say friend, it's because, I think when I think of friend, I think of a good friend. So that's why I feel like I'm the good friend to my own daughter. Like, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. So that's what I mean. Like, when... Like, I feel like, like, Penny's my friend because, like, I'm able to be like, girl, like, you know, I'm able to tell her what it is. And I also feel like me and my mom were really, like, my mom, even till this day, is still, like, my best, before you guys, like, she was my best friend.
I like how she prefaced that,
She was my best friend, like, truly. Like, she's someone I could tell everything I tell you guys.
But you had the respect for her, and I think that's, but that's because probably when you were younger, he instilled that into you, and then when you got to a certain age, then it switched.
And I think it's like friend, like, this is what I'm talking about, friend. Like, this is how my mom would operate with me. Like, she would be, like, I could tell her anything. I could tell her, like, my crush. I could tell her, like, or I would say, like, oh, Mom, like, I really want to get a tattoo. Like, I want to get piercings. And my mom's way of parenting, she would be like, okay, she's like, what piercing do you want? And I'm like, I want to get my dimples at a point, guys. I wanted to get this, this, my tongue, like, everything. And I remember my mom was like, okay, she's like, yeah, that would probably look cute. She's like, But if you ever get a piercing, like we would have to go to a tattoo shop, like professional, like because I was telling her like the girls do it in the bathroom. Like she was like my friend. Like I would tell her everything.
Getting infections.
So and that's what my mom would do. She would be like, if you ever got a piercing, like I would take, like she would tell me, I'll take you to a professional.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay, like I'm thinking like this is great.
Yeah.
And then the next week I'll be like, oh mom, I think I want to get my eyebrows. She's like, okay, well, why don't we wait till the end of the month because you changed it last week. Like she would, yeah. She's like, you changed it last week and you don't want holes all over your face.
Oh my
And she's like, and
gosh.
remember so and so, like the hole that they have in their face, like do you want that? And I'm like, actually I don't want that. I never ended up getting piercings. So do you see? And then the same thing, like I wanted a whole sleeve. I wanted my neck tattooed. Guys, I was gonna be crazy. Okay, yeah, I'm not kidding.
And we grew up in Christian homes. We're all freaking out.
My mom was like, are you sure? She's like, well, she's like, you've seen dad's tattoos, right? Like by his friends. She's like, you don't want that. She's like, if you ever get a tattoo, it has to be professional. Like, so she would like tell me stuff without me like. Do you get what I'm saying?
So your
So
mom
tell
was,
me, what was she doing?
So she was operating of the like, I'm not gonna say no and fight because then you would want it more.
Then I
Going along with you, and then when you valued what she had to say, then she could be like, but you know what, this, and then it made you think because you already knew, oh, mom's on my side. Whatever she said, you were
it
like,
made me think
your mom's
like,
a genius.
Yeah. Do I have a tattoo till this day? No. Nothing. Because
We need to get matching
she would say like, also like it's gonna be expensive, so you're gonna want good stuff, like you know, because she'll tell, and I know what it looks like. She's like, look at dad's tattoos that are from a professional and look at dad's tattoos that are not, and I'm like, you're right.
Right.
And then she also
I
like
was threatened. I was like, you get a tattoo, you would be on this.
I love the difference. I love the difference in parenting. I was threatened.
What about you? Did you ever want? Do you have a tattoo?
Do I have a tattoo? No, I don't have a tattoo.
No, I knew hesitate.
No, I came from the household of what's a tattoo? I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I was in a little bubble. I never wanted a tattoo.
When I got married, I didn't know.
Popped when I was 5 years old, probably.
I didn't know who Biggie was.
Here's the thing. For
Did
me,
you know who Biggie was?
in the grand scheme of things, that has no importance in my life. Like, I didn't know who this Bad Bunny was either before Super Bowl. And I'm like,
Yeah.
just
same.
because I don't know that doesn't mean I'm dumb.
I didn't know who Tupac was. I didn't.
That's a little.
I didn't know any of
Okay,
this.
well, we didn't do secular music stuff.
stressed.
We
This,
didn't.
this is going in a whole other direction right now.
Guys, my dad will be bumping like some crazy Sal Capone, Conejo
Who is
music.
that?
Who's that?
Crazy artist. Freaking bumping, dropping me off at school.
Yeah.
He's listened to it. That's why he's like, I've listened to it.
So dumb. Anyways, so.
So you appreciate.
I've learned to appreciate music,
Yes.
but there is a fine line.
Oh, 100%.
Like, and I think this is really random. This is really weird. This is not biblical, but it opens my eyes. Have you ever read the book The Shack?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, wait, no, I haven't finished. I never finished it.
Okay,
I didn't finish
have
it.
you watched the movie?
No.
I think I watched the movie.
You need to watch the movie. There's a moment where, so if you've never watched or read the book, The Shack, so okay, it talks about like God, and God shows up with this guy, right?
Yeah.
Well, he comes as a black lady, and there's all kinds of like stuff, like biblically, whatever. But I took a snippet of it because she's listening. She's like baking pie or doing dishes or something, and she's like listening to this like rock, like metal band. And the guy's like, "You're God. Like, how are you listening to this music?" And she responds and says, "They're all my children." And it made, when I watched that, obviously, like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But it made me think, like, I get music is like a doorway to like your spiritual, I believe your soul and your spiritual health. But there's a fine line where, like, yes, there are music that makes you like, say you're listening to Taylor Swift and she's talking about love, and you start to like want love, and like you start being lustful and stuff. Yes, there is a fine line, but that's where you teach your children emotional and spiritual health.
Yeah.
And like hey, you're acting a certain way, or you're desiring things that you shouldn't, and you've
Yeah.
been listening to this.
Yeah.
Like, we listened to Shakira, like,
Yeah.
hips don't lie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
to be silly.
So now y'all are
Well-
shaking your buttons.
Well, it's funny because now that I think about it, like when you see on TikTok or social media, you see a lot of the millennials and they're like, dude, we were singing this in 5th grade, didn't even know what we were singing
Yeah.
about.
Right,
Because there's
Yeah.
songs too that I would be singing my heart out
Right.
to.
Yeah, and you don't even know what
I'm
talking
talking
Right.
about
Yes.
or listening to.
I will say, like,
you know?
growing up, so my mom, like, which was kind of, okay, this is kind of crazy, and if my mom watches this, like, make this make sense, please. But my mom, like, did not let us listen to secular music. Like, no NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, like, not, right? My dad did listening to, like, Metallica,
Yes.
Pink Floyd, like, all these
Yes.
other, like, rock band
Yeah.
things that I think lean more towards kind of that soul connection thing that we're talking about.
Right.
And which I still listen to those bands. I
Right.
listen to rock. But my dad had such an array of like taste in music that like I appreciate all kinds of
Right,
music, from
right.
classical to like hard rock, like
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
in between. I appreciate it, but but that's funny.
Yes.
That was a good
Make it
little
make
make it make sense,
Make it
mom.
make sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we didn't grow up Christian, so I heard it all.
So I guess in conclusion, just knowing that at times there's going to be feeling like we're failing, but to know that it's kind of important because it's growing and it's preparing, and especially if you have multiple children in those multiple
Not failing,
stages.
you're growing.
You're not failing, you're growing. And we can't grow if we don't learn from our, mistakes and failures. And I think just remembering to be very open with your children. Coming and watching again, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.